Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everybody. Hey, welcome to this episode of the Note Closure Show. As always, Scott Carson. I am jacked up today. It's been a good Monday already by noon. It was a good morning by 10 o'clock, actually. It's been I hope you all had a great weekend, great last week, a lot of great things going on. People have been, Scott, how can you be so positive? It seems like the world is ending. I'm telling you, it's because the worse the financial markets get, especially with the commercial and real estate stuff, it can be scary. Don't get me wrong. It can be very scary. And as a real estate investor, there are some markets I worry about. Okay. There's markets that I watch more than others. But I'm also giddy in a good way because I see the amount of opportunity coming down the pipeline. I see the different opportunities, the different profit potentials that are coming down with what's going on in the markets all across the country. Because I've been through this before, right, ladies and gentlemen? Now, I'm in a much better place now than I was back in 2007, 2008, 2009. Then I definitely a lot better spot off today. So I'm very giddy about the opportunity that are going because back when I think back to like 2004 to 2008 when I first got started as a investor, because I've been a real estate investor for about 20, 21 years now. It's hard to believe that. And the note investor really since 2007, so that's 17 years. I wasn't prepared. I was barely getting by. I was good at barely getting by, and I was really honing my craft and figuring things out. But I'm so much more ready, and there's so many different opportunities, especially for you guys out there. It's a whole different market that was when it was back in 2008, 9, and 10. I mean, you think about what you had to do to find deals. I mean, you had to just dial for dollars. Now, that still works to today. You still got to make phone calls and follow up. But today's episode, I want to go through a little bit different tactic. Okay. Now, I grew, my family's from Minnesota. One of my fondest memories as a kid is going to the Apple Fair in Wisconsin. Okay. And it was literally like a mile of different apple orchards that brought all their apples there. I ate so many apples as a kid. My stomach was swollen up like a pregnant lady. I hurt so bad. It's still one of my fondest memories because I love apples. I like sweet Gala apples or Fuji apples. I'm not a big Red Delicious, but I like a little sweeter tart to Granny Smith. It was like a good apple, right? And I was thinking last night, what am I going to talk about today on today's? And I was thinking about, I was eating an apple. And I was thinking, and I was looking at some of the marketing that we've done, put out the last year and running my numbers and reviewing things. And I said, we're going to talk about the Johnny Appleseed of marketing tactics. Most of you, maybe you've never heard of Johnny Appleseed. That's kind of a cartoon caricature of him. He didn't really wear a copper pot on his head. Okay. But if you don't know who Johnny Appleseed is, a little bit of history, hang around. Trust me, you'll understand how it all kind of ties together here in the end. Now, who is Johnny Appleseed? Okay. Now, Johnny Appleseed's not really, it's kind of like a folklore person. He actually really did exist. He's a real person. Okay. Johnny Appleseed was actually born in 1774. Okay. In Massachusetts. His real name is not Johnny Appleseed, is John Chapman. Okay. Now, he actually fought during the Revolutionary War. Okay. At Bunker Hill. Most people don't know that. Okay, his actually father came over, originally settled Massachusetts, and somewhere around that time, after Revolutionary War and stuff like that, he moved actually to Pennsylvania and started an apple orchard there. Okay, and then as everybody was moving west, he started moving west. He started going out and planting trees out west. He always carried a bag of apple seeds that either he harvested from himself or he would get for free from going to the different cider mills. I mean, if you don't know what cider mills, that's where they take the apples, they squeeze it down for the apple juice, they ferment it and turn it into beer, right? I love apple cider, whether it's alcoholic or non-alcoholic. I like a good cider, right? It's a bigger thing, cider over I think in London and England, stuff like that. You can always go to a bar and find multiple ciders for the most part here. You can still find it here. It's just not I don't think it's just as liked as regular beer is, but it's still a fantastic way. But he always carried a bag of apple seeds with him. And as he headed west, this is a funny thing. He walked barefoot every day. Rain, sleet, snow, he walked barefoot. It said his feet were so toughened by walking that a rattlesnake couldn't bite into him. Okay. But he's always planting trees. Now, he what also came about with him planting trees and walking about, now he wasn't a crazy character. They said he kind of dressed a little uglier, and I'll talk more about that. But he spread the news, and was always kind of like a Samaritan, all right? And he literally would give people, trade people his, if he had nicer clothes than somebody that needed it and he thought they needed the nicer clothes, he would swap out clothes. Sometimes they talk about how we just wear a burlap bag. Well, sometimes he would, or the pot on his head was, sometimes he gave his hat away, or he make a hat out of wood. There's a variety of things. But what he did is he was a very good Samaritan. He traded apple trees for clothes, for food. He did look a little rough, grew a beard, but he always slept outside at night too. This is something I was researching this earlier this morning and last night, and I just kind of chuckled about that. He really liked what he did. He loved what he did. And his marketing was, he planted apple trees. This is his why. He planted apple trees and apple orchards because he never wanted anybody to go hungry. He's like, apples is one of the amazing fruits out there. You can eat it and you're hungry. It's healthy for you. You can make beer, cider out of it. You can make apple pie. You can make jam. There's a whole variety of things you can make with apples. Now, the apples that were around 170 years ago are obviously not the same that we have around today, right? To give you a bit of an idea, because you're thinking, wow, if you plant a lot of apple trees, how long does it take for an apple to grow if we swap in some things? Now, you can actually, some miniature dwarf trees that were kind of around, can take 2 to 3 years for apple trees to start bearing fruit. Some of the miniature ones, stuff like that, they're kind of bitter, and that's what we had, a lot of bitter trees. And there's still some of the Chapman's apple orchards are still around. There's a spot in Ohio that still has this exact type of fruit that he has. Obviously, with cross-pollination, a lot of trees will change. But most trees in these days can take 7+ years to grow to show fruit. That's a long time. Think about that. A long time for something to bear fruit. Now, I like growing, my green thumb is I'm growing avocado trees from the avocados that we eat. We started this during COVID, keeping the seeds, thrown in a little bit of water, throw them in a pot. Now I've got about 30 avocado trees that are anywhere from 2 months to 3 years old, and one's getting like 10 foot tall. It should start bearing avocados this year. Why did I say it? Well, because it didn't cost me much more to do it. But this guy, he was serious, okay? He had over 1,200 acres of land that he owned, plus all this other land that he would plant when he was out walking around, okay? Now, back in the day when you were moving west to claim a homestead and for it to settle, you had to, if you're settling there, you were required to plant 50 apple trees and 20 peach trees in the first 3 years to be able to keep your homestead. And he saw an opportunity here. He's like, oh, these people are coming in. I'll plant all these trees and I'll sell them the trees, or I'll barter the trees for them to help them hit their homestead. I'll be this integral part of where they get their trees to help them get things done. And he traveled from Pennsylvania to Ohio to West Virginia to Indiana and Illinois, planting these seeds to create orchards. He would come back, and when he would plant seeds, he would build like a little wooden thing around it, take fallen down trees to protect his trees and take off. But he would look for unclaimed land and he would plant trees on them. And then when people would come, he would say, hey, I'll sell you that tree. Let's barter your tree. So he literally, I like to call it, might be the first distressed investor out there. He would see some distressed unclaimed land, go and kind of rehab it a little bit, turn it into a valuable orchard, and then he would get it performing, non-performing land to performing land. Okay. That's the way my mind works when I saw this. Okay. But it takes a while, 3 to 7 years, man, it's a long time, right? Who's got that kind of patience? But the question I ask you all here, and I ask myself this, and this is one thing that when I wake up every day, I ask, okay, what am I doing to better my business? What am I doing? What am I planting today? What seeds am I planting today that will hopefully bear fruit at some point down the road? I know that's harder. I got that kind of was kicked into my brain by a guy, Roland Frazier. It also kicked my brain by watching Gary Vaynerchuk years ago. But the whole goal is, I ask you guys, when I see you guys struggling to find deals or to raise capital or trying to get one deal done versus 100 deals, is are you planting any trees? And are you letting your trees grow, or are you giving up? Think about this. Most people aren't planting any trees, or if they plant a tree or two, if they don't have instantaneous success, they move on and go on to something else. And it's a cycle a pattern that really never changes. I'm going to go do something else. I'm going to go do something else. Oh, I can't be good at this. I'm going to do something else. You have to give your trees time to grow, time to blossom, time to fertilize, and then time to grow fruit. It can take a while. It's not going to be a get rich quick scheme in real estate. Okay. And the thing that I ask you is, how long will you be investors? Some of you have been investors for 15, 20 years and you're still struggling. And I don't get that. If you've been an investor for 15 to 20 years, you've either A, bounced around and want to be investors, maybe had a little bit of success, but moved on. Maybe you had a shiny object syndrome, squirrel, squirrel, squirrel. You know what I mean? Of course, the markets change. Maybe you've got to that. But if you're still trying to do things like you were years ago that didn't work for you, well, you're going to get the same results that you're getting right now. You have to embrace change. You have to embrace the fact that markets change, but it becomes easier as we go further along, but you have to embrace the change. Now, it takes about 5 minutes for you to plant a tree. If you've got a seed, it takes you about 5 minutes to go outside, find some dirt, dig a hole, stick your finger in there, throw some dirt in on top of that seed so it's not planted, and pour some water on it. And you get it kind of watered every once in a while. But literally, it takes about 5 minutes to plant a tree. It's not hard at all. Okay. And the idea is that if you plant enough trees over time, you will have an orchard. You'll have a forest. You'll have that stuff. Not every tree, not every seed is going to sprout. But when Johnny Appleseed, he had this huge bag, this burlap bag full of seeds. And we know apple seeds aren't big, right? They're small, very small. I mean, heck, people used to make fun of me as a kid because I'd eat the whole apple, seed and all. The core is just another piece of apple. My mom would send me an apple every day. I wouldn't eat the stem, but the kids would laugh at me because I ate the whole apple. I'm like, it's just part of the apple. Why throw this little part away? I'll just eat it and then I'll crap out the seeds. You know what I mean? But it's the same philosophy if you think about planting a tree, about how to market your business. I know there's the aha. Not good. Oh shit, Scott's talking about marketing again. Look, it honestly only takes about 5 minutes to market your business. 5 minutes. That's like the bare minimum. Now I do that a lot longer. I always plan for an hour, hour and a half that I focus on almost each day, 4 days a week. Sometimes it's an hour, hour and a half, doing longer form content or a newsletter. But honestly, for most of you starting off, you really need about 5 minutes to market. Now, how many of you don't have 5 minutes in a day? Come on, it's a stupid question, but everybody has 5 minutes of the day. If you think about 24 hours, all right, times 16 minutes, or let's say there's 12 minutes times 12, because 12 times 5 is 60, right? So there's 288 opportunities for 5 minutes. You tell me you can't, if you take one out of that, 1 divided by 288, that's less than 31 thousandths of a day, minute, to do some marketing in your business. I know it sounds stupid, but honestly, if you want to grow trees and grow results, you got to spend at least 5 minutes. A lot of us wait till the end of the day. Oh, I'll market later on, or I'll set some aside. That's great. But honestly, you need some quick hits. We all need daily invites. And they always, like I had a friend of mine, Boyd Pops, who's a great buddy, realtor, mortgage broker, actually brought me into the investing career. We started a mortgage company together years ago. He's a realtor, and he's really relied on a lot of referral business for his mortgage business and his real estate business. Well, it's drying up. He's got to get differently. And he's like, I'm taking this coaching where it tells me to post 1 video per month. And I'm like, are you kidding me? 1 video per month? That's horrible. You should be posting 1 a day. Oh, that's too much. Why? It's 5 to 10 minutes a day to post something valuable about your market, what you're doing, to get the word out, to stay top of mind with people. Well, he's posted 1 video in the last 90 days. He sent me like a newsletter a week. And you know what I've done? I've taken his newsletters and turned them into videos for myself. Okay. I love him. And I send him back, say, hey, this is what you should be doing. This is what you should be doing. I'm not a realtor, but I stayed at a Holiday Inn Express a couple nights ago. Crickets. And he's a great guy, smart guy. But sometimes we're all too smart for ourselves. Oh, I don't need to do that. Or my audience isn't watching video. Okay. But when I look at you and I ask you, how many of you are struggling to feed our businesses, family, or hit our long-term goals? It's because you're not doing the activities that need to be done. Okay. And I get it. It can be a daunting task to start from nothing. You look at a piece of land and there's nothing out there. Oh, that's a lot. Those trees have grown for 50 years. It's going to take 50 years before I have trees on the land. No, it's not. It's going to take a little time, but we all have to start from someplace. And right now, there's a couple things that you can be doing that will do well for you, that will help you if you adapt that Johnny Appleseed marketing strategy that I'm talking about. And I'm going to get to that in a second. Okay. And I don't care what niche. I know we got a few folks on here live, investors, realtors. We've got motivational speakers. We've got all sorts of people that are brand new to real estate or brand new to notes, people that are experiencing notes in the mortgage. Here's the thing. If you're wanting to get something good, guess what? You got to start sharing on a regular basis. You have to evolve with the times, okay? Now, I will be the first one to say that there's things out there that I said, oh, I'm not going to spend my time on because my audience is not there. Well, I have been wrong, okay? I have been wrong. Now, my Johnny Appleseed marketing strategy, it's pretty simple. It's the 5-minute, I call it the 5-minute marketing hack, okay? 5-minute marketing hack, okay? Sometimes it takes less than 5 minutes. Sometimes it might take a little bit longer than 5 minutes. It depends on the battery, how much battery you charge and what kind of internet thing. But this is all done pretty much for my smartphone, okay? And it's basically creating a 1-minute video or longer, 1 minute or less, 50 seconds, 30 seconds to a minute. It really does really well. Video on a topic that's important to your business, real estate, investing, property, entrepreneurship, business hacks, whatever it might be. Those things all fall under the category I say in one of your businesses, okay? 1-minute video. Now you can also comment on articles, talk about an article, news, stats, or other videos. What I've seen has been working is me commenting on new distressed assets, okay? Distressed apartment buildings, multifamily, and then also sharing and discussing note deals, real estate deals, breaking that stuff down, okay? And then also interesting articles like people getting arrested for doing stupid stuff in real estate, okay? Now, that 1-minute video, 50, 55 seconds, I upload it to TikTok. I literally use TikTok to record it, okay? And I'll share some results this morning. I'll type up to 150 to 200 character description with keywords like, hey, check out this hashtag hotel in hashtag Fort Lauderdale. The hashtag Marriott North is in default. The bar was able to do a forbearance, whatever. Talking something about, they've got a $22.9 million loan. The loan matures in December. They're going to need to bring some cash. Just a simple little blurb. I can type it all. I got fat fingers, so sometimes misspelling is wrong, but it's not long. Now, when I post this to TikTok, I copy the description because I'm going to use the description as well. I then share it to YouTube. That's because once TikTok uploads it, it downloads it to my phone with my captions or my face in there too, if it's a green screen behind it, and then I upload that to YouTube. It's a YouTube short. And what I do, I copy paste the description into the description after the video loads in YouTube, and I do it straight. This is all done from my smartphone, okay? I'll go back after that video loads, and then I'll actually type in a longer description or hashtags, but I actually will copy paste hashtags from a Evernote that I have tab on my notepad that I can copy paste hashtags into YouTube. So I don't have to do I don't have to get on my laptop. I can do it all from my phone, okay? I'll then also reshare the video, copy paste the description on LinkedIn, and then I'll also share the same video, 1-minute video to Twitter, Facebook as a reel and a story, and then my Instagrams, okay? You can also throw it on Threads too. But here's the thing, ladies and gentlemen, by taking that 1-minute video, I've technically created TikTok, YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Threads. That's 6. Some of these I have duplicates for. I have so 8 minutes of content, technically 8 minutes of content, 8 or 9 minutes of content by the 1-minute video. I just share the same thing. Copy, paste, copy things. I don't even go on and take the TikTok logo off the video that TikTok throws on here. Some people say, I'm trying to keep this simple. It's just me planting seeds everywhere, okay? Every day I'm planting seeds. Every day I'm hustling, okay? And I took this 1-minute video idea, and I learned about this because I'm coachable. I go to a thing called FinCon, or finance, where money and marketing meet. When I went to back in Orlando, it was in September 2022. And I learned about this from an attorney, okay, named Erica. She's one of these attorneys that reads the fine print, that talks a lot about travel and things. And she says, like, you've seen the side-by-side videos, like, oh, hey, you delayed my flight, you owe me $500 in a hotel and all this other stuff, all the fine print. Well, she made enough of those videos. She's got 1 million followers. She even got Mayor Pete to come on her and do one with her because he's the transportation safety administrator, TSA or whatever now, you know what I mean? But she's now, she's made millions of dollars from doing this stuff, and it all started with a 1 minute video. I'm like, that's a great idea to market. Nobody else is doing that in the note investing space. When I started looking at stuff, there's some people that do in generic real estate or apartments or stuff like that. But it was basically untapped, uncharted territory. And then, there's some people doing a little bit of that on YouTube, but nobody's really doing that on those two things on the 1 minute videos. Like, that's easy. Who doesn't have a minute? There's no reason can't take a minute. When I can't think of something to talk about, like my first year was just me talking like one little nuggets about note investing. Okay. And those did okay. But I started doing videos almost daily, definitely Monday through Friday. And then I was like, oh, I need to really do them on Saturday, Sunday, because very less people are posting on Saturday and Sunday. And I started seeing I get a bigger spike on Saturday, Sunday, because there's less people competing on the weekend. Okay. So I started off when I'd upload these, I would get 80 to 200 views on TikTok. And if you have a TikTok account and you're getting like 200 views, it means your videos aren't really classified. TikTok's not classifying them for like real estate or in the niche. They're just kind of general. And you need people to kind of look at it. Well, I figured out a TikTok hack. If you're interested, reach out to me. I'll be glad to share the hack with you. It's really, really simple. When you upload a video, you just go search from your video. Your video will either classify as like real estate investing or note investing or distressed assets. If it doesn't, it says find related content. If you click on that box and type in what you want your main keyword to be, like note investing or apartment investing, and then look at like 3 to 5 other videos in that category, give it about 5 or 10 minutes and come back, and your video will now be classified in that category, and it leads to more viewers, more followers. Okay, and I'll share that hack with you. I'll show you kind of what happened. If I upload these same videos to YouTube, I'd get 40 to 100 views on the YouTube Shorts on average. Like, not getting a lot of momentum, but it was at least something. It was 40 to 100 more views than I had. Okay, it was 80 to 200 more views than I had. That was my thing. If I can get, one follower a day to start following me, because I do it a little bit regular, and sometimes it wouldn't be any followers for 3 days, but then I get 4 or 5 followers on one video. It's like, okay, I'm onto something here. Like I said, 1 new follower per day was what I wanted to do. Okay, because I know that it'll exponentially grow. It'll be that bell curve going up, that hockey stick of growth. And even though I shared these to Instagram and TikTok and my Facebook, I wasn't really so worried about those 3 platforms because the algorithm really kind of limits who sees it. But I was most interested in YouTube and TikTok, because that's where people were seeing stuff. And that's where really I saw, especially in TikTok, this uncharted audience when I started looking at the stuff 2 years ago. Okay. And these 2 really had the most open algorithm that you could work to get it working in your favor. Everything else, like Facebook and Instagram, will change it up a lot and doesn't work that well. It's still stuff to post. You might as well just share it there. It's going to do well if you just share it. And we've seen an increase across those platforms. But to give you a bit of an idea, I actually went in today, and TikTok just changed up their ability to be able to pull stats. Used to be able to only go back to like 60 days to look at stats. Now they brought it back to last year. So this is to give you an idea of the growth in the last 365 days. Okay. Now, 365 days ago, I was sitting at 417 followers. Be it. That's 417 followers in roughly under a year. So I was adding about 1.5 followers per day. Now, that all kept going until I hit May 21st of this year. Okay. And then I started posting a couple more specific distressed assets, distressed deals, distressed apartments, just all stuff. It wasn't me going out and finding me. Yes, sometimes it was me finding these deals and getting them unlisted to me, but a lot of it was seeing stuff in the media, like Housing Wire or Real Deal, talking about an asset in an area where I have an audience at. And I said, okay, let me start focusing on my audience. My audience areas of where the people are seeing. And where are people viewing my stuff? Houston, Austin, San Antonio, Dallas, Fort Worth, New York City, San Francisco, LA, Chicago, and then San Diego. So West Coast, New York, Chicago, and then the big boroughs in Texas. Everybody's gonna be a little bit different, right? But that's, you see this big bell curve here. Boom, I'm now, as of this morning, actually right now, it's 45.77 was what I was at last night. I have added this morning, if I look at, no, I added 12 more. I'm at 4635. So I've added 35 plus 23. So 57 new followers this morning alone from the one video I posted this morning. Okay. But that's that. Now, people's like, okay, that's great, Scott, but that's a lot of work. Look, one person, all you need is one person. And I'm not saying this wasn't productive, because I started getting people to opt into my free one-day class. I had people reach out to me for coaching. I had people that reached out to me to invest. I had people reach out to me to buy. Okay. So even though I saw this huge curve, I've seen a huge influx of activity in the last, since my birthday, really, it was steady. It was a little steady. If I posted something, boom, boom, I'd get something. So it was worth me going along, right? Basically, if you monetize a platform, they said, oh, you got so many followers. Look, I monetized this on like the first 90 days of me posting videos from back September. People reached out to me, hey, I want to learn more about what you're doing. I want to invest. I see these deals. That made it all worth my while to really let me stick to this once a day. Okay. Now, people say, oh, there's not anybody that invests on TikTok. And that's not true. I said that. I said there's a lot of people popping, locking, and dancing on TikTok. I will be the first one to eat crow. Okay. But these are the these are the average age of my followers. Okay. The people that see my videos too. Yes, 18 to 24, whoopee freaking doodah. 25 to 34, people getting started, young adults getting started, but the 35 to 55, look at that. 35 to 55. That's basically 30, 20, so that's 50. So basically about 77% of the people that watch my video are my ideal avatar age group. That's about 80-20 male to female, and there's some unknown in there. So that's normal. I mean, you track guys, track girls, it's fine. But that's the age group. This is the ideal age group of who we are targeting. If you're a note or real estate investor, these are the age groups you want to target. Okay. 35 to 65. Okay. So 75% of the people that are watching my videos are my ideal target range. That's good enough for me to keep posting. Okay. The next thing that was important is, when are people posting? Now, I just pulled, what's great is TikTok kind of tells you when people are watching your stuff. So I just went back to August 10th. I looked back, and it's all about the same. It's the same kind of curve throughout each day. So people start watching videos. Most of my followers are watching. This number is like 16 to 1,800 of my followers. These are the times that they're on TikTok. So on August 10th, it was at 2,200. So you see, posting the first thing in the morning, 5, 6 a.m. does really well. It drops off, obviously, after lunch, 1, 2, 3 o'clock. Are the lowest times. So if I post something around noon or 11 o'clock, it does okay. But I know it's going to have that afternoon hit. Really starting about 3, 4 o'clock, I start to see a hit of viewers. And it's kind of funny. It's similar on YouTube. It's almost the same thing. I post something at this dead time. It takes about 3 or 4 hours for the kick hit to go from 20 to 30 views to 100 in long hit times. Anytime I post it in the morning, though, about early in the morning, it gets a bigger hit. I'll share that numbers why. So YouTube, let's look at YouTube. Now, YouTube, I can go back the last 2 years, okay? In my YouTube channel here, I've got 174,000 views in the last 2 years. That's 87,000 views a year. That's 87,000 divided by 12. That's about 7,000 to 8,000 average per month. That's not bad. That's still number one, beats anybody else who has a YouTube channel focused on notes, okay? And we've had the largest YouTube and the most views on a YouTube channel in the note investing for a while, for a couple of years. We're like 2,000, 3,000 ahead of the nearest competitor. But you see, same thing. A little bit spikes here, some of my better stuff. And then boom, we started getting some bigger spikes when we started honing our content and being focused on some things. So it's seen a really big spike recently, which is good. I mean, we went from averaging 10,000 views a month to now our peak last month was 25,000 views. We'll probably hit 30, 35,000 views this month because we just keep posting. It finally exponentially, it hit a thing. It hit a button. We hit a few things. We got one video go really viral. Okay. About the squatter got 40 years. That went really viral. 9,000 views on YouTube. Okay. Our number one video on TikTok, 256,000 views. Okay. Same thing. Looking here. Oh, the last, this is YouTube. So once again, my audience, if we do the whole 24, 25, that's 40, that's 50.3. 70, so about 85% of my audience is in that 25 to 65 age group. That's who's seeing my stuff. That's the perfect. Now, they may not be on there watching, binging hours and hours and hours of content because they got to work, but they're still on there spending time. And as you can see on here, this YouTube shows me the best times to post. The dark purple is when people are on YouTube. The lighter purple, I mean, like here's when they're, sleep. So people really are searching between 2 and 4 p.m. a.m. Okay. But me, Sunday's a big day before church. That's about 10 o'clock. And you can see in the evening, 6 o'clock, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock in the evenings for the most part as well. Friday night is dead for the most part. I mean, it's not as dead as people in the mornings, but it slows down. And Saturday too. If I can get something up by 1, 2 o'clock, it'll get some views. I use these heat maps to know when to post and when to target. Like I get up in the morning. My morning tradition is getting up. I'm usually out the door by 8:30. I'm going for a walk. I got my coffee. And I'm getting the habit. I mean, that's been my habit for you. Go for a walk for an hour. I cut it short a little bit today because it started getting hot. I'll go back for another hour in a second here after we wrap up today and sweat my ass off. But the thing is these algorithms, these platforms tell you the best times to post. Okay. Tell you the best times. Now, with the great thing about YouTube, you can upload a video at 8 o'clock and schedule it to go live whenever you want it to. You can do the same thing on TikTok. You can upload it and schedule it to go live. They both got pretty interactive things, but I like doing this all from my phone. If I can do this from my phone, it makes it easy where I'm sitting outside listening to the Charlie, my squirrel, bark at me to feed him seeds in the morning, letting the Jay, the blue jay, hawking at me. Okay. Molly the mockingbird coming up looking for seeds. Yes, we have named all of our birds and animals around us. But I'm sitting here enjoying my first part of the day, recording a quick little video. The only thing that takes a little bit longer is it takes me about 2 to 3 minutes to create the green screen image. If I do that, I'll try to find 3 or 4 and I'll design that in Canva. If not, I'll just do a screenshot and I use the TikTok app to actually use a green screen behind me. It's pretty simple to use. If not, I'll just sit there and just record myself talking for a minute about a topic or an article, and then I'll share it. But the thing, ladies and gentlemen, is we found our niche. And the same thing, you can take what I've done and put it to work. Now, our 1-minute videos on YouTube do about 400 views on average throughout the day. Okay, the one I posted this morning, I posted a little bit earlier than I normally did. But if I look at my YouTube channel, it is at already 432 views. No, so 464 views from 3 hours ago. And this is the Marriott North in Fort Lauderdale. Is going to special servicing. A picture of the property, some stats I pulled from another article really fast while I was researching it this morning, sitting there drinking coffee. Took me 5 minutes to create the image, a minute to record. I take it back, 2 minutes to record because I messed up the first time, so I re-recorded it from my phone, and it took longer for it to upload on the different platforms. Okay, now uploading stuff to TikTok, they're averaging 2,000 views. Some are low. They're no longer at that 200 threshold mark unless I do something completely off, like I uploaded a barbecue, me barbecuing on a little thing. That's not my channel. My channel, and the algorithm recognizes my channel for real estate, so it's not going to do good. 100, 200 views. That's totally fine. I just throw it up there because it's a fun thing on Saturday, Sunday. It's averaging 2,000. Now, the video this morning, same video, as of this second, right now, 3 hours later, it has, actually, let me share. I can share my screen so you can see it. Video this morning, that was from 30 minutes ago. It added 1,300 views while I've been talking here with you. 5,083 views, 93 likes, 8 comments, 16 shares. People have shared my video, 5 saves. And if I look a little bit closer, more insights, how many people I've added 7 followers from this video. Okay. 56 seconds. And this is, you guys can go and follow me on there, but this is thing 5,083. As of this morning, my 1-minute video that I uploaded 8 spots across those 2 platforms alone has gotten me 5,500 views. Okay. And the average person watching this video has watched it for 24 seconds. That 5 minutes this morning alone has already gotten me over 28 hours of people watching this video. Think about the power of that, about your next listing, about your next property, the next deal you're trying to raise capital for. next asset you're buying or selling. Okay. It works. It's not meant to be rocket science. This is not difficult. Anybody can do this. Now, our YouTube video, our number one YouTube video on YouTube was that we started doing this has 9,300 views. That was boom. 1 minute. Our number one TikTok video has 256,000 views. That's on the Fairmont Hotel here in Austin. That was set for the auction block. I've got several that are at 20,000, 30,000, 40,000, 50,000, 70,000 views. And it's people that are opting in. And anybody that says that follows me, I send them a message. I just copy paste. Hey, thanks for following me. If you'd like to be on my newsletter, shoot me your email and I'll add you to my database. Okay. Because I want to take them off of TikTok. I want to take that information off of TikTok and put them into my network and put them into my email list. Because if they do shut down TikTok or they shut down something or anything like that, I still own that email address. Okay. I don't think they're going to do like they said that they were going to do with TikTok. I think they'll end up reselling it or moving it or tweaking it. But this, even if they didn't, guess what? I've added about 5,000 people into my database. Okay. But this thing is even if I only get 200, right? Upload, do something that do well. This leads to increased views across everything else. The 1 minute videos has led to about 6,000 views on my LinkedIn channel alone the last 7 days, about 2,000 viewers of the LinkedIn newsletter. We still average about 10 to 15,000 downloads of the podcast. That's separate. I'm not talking about my longer form content. Okay. Longer form content is also increased as we've seen stuff, but for the most part, the immediate impact in the numbers and the views is the shorter form contact. Okay. And we stick to distressed real estate or some sort of real estate investing and note deals. Okay. Which is what you all are doing of some sort of niche, real estate and note deals. People love that. People love to see that. Now you can either just hang out with the rest of the crowd and not do anything and nobody's going to see you, or you can start sharing these things and stand out from the crowd, add some traction to your business. And so let's talk about some of the fruit that we've harvested. Well, we've raised private capital from our videos. People reaching out to, hey, I've got 50 grand. I got 100 grand to invest with. Okay, I keep track of those people. Okay, I think it's probably about 1.5 is what we've had people reach out to us, pledge, fill out investor profile sheets, and they're ready to rock and roll. We've added deals. Okay, residential notes sent to us, commercial notes sent to us. I got supposed to get a tape in. There's the guy calling me today with a tape that we exchanged. He liked my videos on YouTube. We've added buyers, small buyers for real estate deals. Hey, I'm looking to buy a note, 10, 20. And then some bigger buyers. I had a couple of hedge funds call me in the last couple of weeks. Hey, I see some of your deals. If you see anything come across 10 million or greater, we'll buy. And I'm like, well, I'm in charge. If I'm going to refer you something, I'm going to charge at least a point. And they're like, that's fine. Okay. That's not bad. Okay. We've added marketing partners, people that want to share our stuff, people that want to do this. We've got some people that want to partner with us on some things. We're pretty excited about that right now. Okay. And that was the goal in mind, ladies and gentlemen, honestly, is there's this uncharted land out there. Doesn't have a lot of people talking about notes. Let's just face it. Most people in the note investing world don't know how to market. They couldn't market themselves out of a paper bag. Right. Okay. And that's where I see the opportunity. Yep. It might take a little while, but guess what? I'm going to plant these seeds. I'm going to plant these trees. So when everybody else pulls their out of their, where are they going to see? They're going to see me. Ralph Waldo Emerson, do not go where there is a path, go where there is no path and leave a trail for others. Okay. That's my whole plan. It's the quote that I love. Okay. We've added students, which has led to people signing up for classes, for coaching students. I mean, we've actually had people like, I binged your TikTok videos, then I found your YouTube, and then I want to sign up for coaching. Great. We continue to plant seeds each day. We did not add students and classes and coaching just in the last 90 days. This happened within the first 60 days of us hosting. And I was like, okay, I'm on to something here. I'm on to raising capital. I'm getting more deals, more buyers, and ultimately making money. And that's what you guys want, right? And we're doubling down. I've decided last week, okay, we're going to go to 2X a day, 1 in the morning, 1 in the evening. Twice a day. Oh, well, I'm gonna double down that 5 minutes to 10 minutes a day. You all know I spend more than that, but we're doubling down on that. Okay, and then we're gonna add probably 1 longer piece of content each day. That's the whole thing. Longer piece at least 4 days a week and 2 short pieces. I'm doubling down because I know where this. I don't have to travel. I don't have to go conferences anymore. I like go to FinCon because I learned something new there. I'll go to a marketing conference. But the point being is that I want people coming to me, right? You all can do the same thing. But you got to spend 5 minutes of your day to start off, maybe 10 minutes a day. Yes, the first couple things you're going to suck at it. But guess what? Embrace the suck. You're going to get better. The videos I post now are much better than when I first started off. But even the selfie videos are pretty good. Okay. And I challenge you to take action. Create and share a 1-minute video about a deal, a listing, a property you sold. If you do go do a property walkthrough, it's going to be longer than a minute, but that's okay. Share about you, your business, your listing, past deals, current deals, news articles, other stories. There's no limit to what you can share. You just got to share something. Okay? Share one video each day and do it. Guess what? Share it across all your social media platforms and go share it to YouTube. Go start your TikTok account. Come on, people. This is not the crazy wild, wild west. No Indians or Cherokees are going to pop up and hit you with an arrow, try to scalp you for doing this. Okay? You're only limiting yourself by not doing this. If you're watching this live, recorded, listening to it, whatever, I love you. I do. I know that you're all capable of this because I've seen other people do it. When I see 85-year-old Wayne, when I see Linda doing this, and she's in her 70s and struggling with cancer, I see people that have all the reasons in the world not to do this, that do this. It takes away all the bullshit excuses we tell ourselves. Okay? Because it's just bullshit. I can't do that, or I won't do that. Well, that's just you being stubborn and being an idiot. Okay? Because these things are here to help. I mean, great, get out there, share. You might as well. It's just claimed. It's like gold, the gold rush. If you don't do it, guess what? You're not going to get anywhere. If you do, guess what's going to happen? You're going to see an improvement. So that's what I want you to do. Share it to all your networks. Track where you are currently on those networks, if it's 0 or 100, and see how much you grow in the next 90 days. Because it takes 66 days to build a habit, not 21 days. If you do this for 90 days, that's going to take you into basically right before Thanksgiving. Give you a lot of momentum in the last couple of weeks of the year, especially into the fourth quarter, and you'll be sized what you see. And that's the thing I ask you. Does it your business or your why, your family, what you want to accomplish, deserve you investing 5 minutes a day on it? I'm not telling you to go out and spend hours and hours. I'm telling you just pull out your damn Android or Apple iPhone, record a selfie video for a minute, talking about something and sharing it to your platform. Taking a second to type it out, put a couple keywords in there, and post it. Because here's my goals, okay? My goal when I started looking at other people in the niche, my friends in real estate, someone had really big followings. They're like, man, you got 100,000 followers. Like, man, I'm like, I see what you're doing. I was like, and I asked them, well, we started posting every day, or they would go live every day, 30 minutes live. I don't do that. I go live about once a week for 30 minutes. And that helps, but it's just, I'm not consistent enough with that. I wanted to get to 1,000 followers on TikTok to start going live. And I was able to accomplish it just now, just recently, May 21st. Think about that. I just was got this aspect to go live, and I go live because guess what? The next week I was headed to Minnesota for a week and a half. So I'm getting better where I'm doing it about once a week, Friday afternoons. I'll go live for about 30 minutes. Okay. And we'll get followers, and I need to do more often. Okay. The thing I don't like about going live is it doesn't record it anymore. So I don't like doing something that's just going to be a one-trick pony. Okay. I want now to get to 5,000 followers. I'll probably do that in the next 2 to 3 weeks. Based on what we're trending right now, I want to double that number by the time we get to 2025. That's a bit of a stretch, but I have to basically add 75 people a day. That's 3 people an hour to get to 10,000 followers on TikTok by January 1st. I can do it. Shoot for a big number, miss. But if I do that, we see a lot of momentum already growing based on what we're doing. I wanted to have the largest YouTube channel on note investing. I've accomplished that. I still have that. We keep growing the #1 podcast, note investing. Those are great things, but I'm always challenging myself. Okay, I want to hit 10,000 subscribers on our YouTube channel by September. That's next year. That's going to take about 120 people a month. It's a little bit slower subscriber rate. We get views. We're about to surpass the 1 million view mark on YouTube, which I'm excited about from doing this. But it's a little slower subscribers. But that's okay. People still keep coming back. And that's what we want to do. That's our big number for that. Why do I want to accomplish these things, ladies and gentlemen? Because I am planning on launching a new debt fund next year. We've seen this. We're seeing other things going on. Our marketing aspect, I was like, well, I don't think I have to get out but leverage a lot of this stuff. I think we're going to end up raising a lot of this from based on the success we've had with this. Okay. And then we've got another big thing that we're launching something major this week that's going to feed into that debt investing fund. We're partnering up with another group on some things, and I'm extremely happy about it. I'll wait and share that with you guys later this week. But those are the two biggest things. If you share it, they will come. If you build it, they will come. Okay. You don't have to plant hours and hours and hours of work. This can be a little bit each day. Is it going to happen overnight? No. Are you going to have some things that hit overnight? Maybe so. Are you going to maybe get just 20 to 50 viewers on your first few videos? Yeah, but guess what? That's 20 to 50 more viewers than you probably have gotten in months. So be smart. Leverage the power of these video channels. It doesn't take you any money. It just takes you a little bit of your time. And you got 288 5-minute increments in your day. All right. So go take advantage of this, guys. Like I said, go look at it. I mean, if you want to copy me and send you one of the best times to post, I'll gladly send you my screenshot of my channel because your avatar is probably be very similar to mine. My avatar, that is the average person that's watching you. So like I have Steve and Linda in the name of my avatars. All right. Women and men. That's what we have. It's about 50-50. Every channel's a little bit different, tweaked a little bit. But that's the avatars. That's when I create content. What would Linda like to see? What would Steve like to see? And that's what we share. So hopefully that was helpful. Any questions from you guys that are watching this live? Any concerns? This is, the part where we do this live and share it it becomes long form content. So I've spent another 45 minutes marketing my business today doing this. You guys, this is not a hard thing to do. There's some research on stuff that you like, go spend some time, go look at who you like, see what they're doing, see what they're posting. Most of it's just them just talking selfie videos. Hey, here's a deal. Here's something I'm working on. Here's a case study. That's something that we all do already. You might as well start doing it themselves. So watching them and letting them harvest all that gold data, you should start going to that and being an asset to your audience. All right. Because if you're not an asset to your audience is going to go elsewhere. All right. So go out, take some action. Hopefully you found this valuable, and we'll see you at the top, everybody.